Good evening, Northwest there. Hello, welcome back. Croizo back on the channel. Here we are dealing with Puzzle Combat, and we are dealing with raid tournaments. Now, my last video was setting up a defense team for the raid tournament, and I think I probably have to put my hands up and say, well, that didn't go so well. But let's not. Anyway, so attack-wise, 4 out of 5, that's fine. That's 80%, obviously. Defense-wise, excuse me. Defense-wise, however, oh dear. 0%, lost every single one. So apparently, my plan of, I maintain my plan of using a red tank, of which I've gone with Blunderbuss. I maintain a red tank is best when you cannot take any blues. I'm just guessing that Blunderbuss was not the right hero, and she wouldn't necessarily ever be my first choice as a tank. But sadly, I have to deal with the simple fact that she was my strongest red. So yes, well there. I do apologise. Anyway, in terms of attacks, I'm doing okay-ish. I'm obviously using a lot of reds because red is the colour that, well, in some ways it's my strongest. It's the strongest. It's my strongest colour, I should say, and also it is readily abundant. There are no shortages of red heroes, and it kind of allows me a lot of freedom. There's some pretty good reds. Blunderbuss, obviously. I know I talk about Blunderbuss. I am a big fan of Blunderbuss, but that is not to say she's actually that great on raids. Arguably, she is flawed on raids because she makes a lot of your special attacks miss. I don't know. But I have been going monochrome with a lot of my attacks, so I have been relying on, a single colour. In this case, it has been red, and it worked there. So monochrome can work, even though the boards weren't entirely favourable. I think there's a lot to be said for going with monochrome's risky, where you go for one colour. This guy, obviously, these three tiles should finish off a leaf. She's dead. And so there is a lot to be said for monochrome. That said, now that my tiles are not going to do so much damage, and there was also an argument there that I should have considered purple as my my background colour, my colour to go for. I didn't, but boom, 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 boom. Purple would have made a big difference against Rex and Mo. So it could have worked out. It could have worked out nicely. Just going for a different colour. The obvious colour to avoid in that situation was green, and I suspect that the enemy Blunderbuss is going off. Boom, boom, boom. But because she's on her own, it's not going to do much good. And there, she's dead. Hooray! Hoo! Woo! 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 So it can that worked pretty well. So offensively, I'm still doing okay. Again here, I could go purple, but I'm just going to go with who I got. See how we go. Fingers crossed. 2 purples might make sense, and I'm looking at the board and thinking, yes, it would have made a complete load of sense, given the complete absence of red tiles. Slightly better there. So obviously, when you go mono, as I'm doing here, where you go for a single colour, you are very dependent on the tiles of said colour coming up. They're coming up some of the time, certainly. Talia here is going to demonstrate debuffing. So as you can see, these guys have all got their counterattack, and that makes them extraordinarily dangerous because it means that the tile damage I inflict any damage I inflict will come back on me. But as you can see, Talia has debuffed it and removed it, which means that Flint is dead. Hooray! Hurrah! Obviously, enemy heroes dying is kind of one of the things you want to aim for. I speak as a not entirely convincing pacifist when I say that you want to kill your enemies as quickly as you can. Oh no! Anyway, there was much madness ensued just briefly for a second there, and now it's just me versus I can't remember her name. I want to say well, hang on, I'll check it. I want to say a Kaio, but that's wrong. I know that's wrong. She is one of my heroes, so I let's check her name. Check her name and then press the go button instead. Okay, so obviously, as I said, you cannot stack against red. So this guy, very terminal, very sensibly has gone with a red tank, which I do. I know my defense team is getting their backsides handed to them, but I would always recommend going with a tank of the colour you cannot stack against. And yeah, terminal here has gone for that, and as you can see, I am struggling to kill said tank. Hopefully that will side with me soon. No, maybe. No, I think luck has abandoned me on this one. Oh, there we are. Finally, a bit of luck. Okay, so now I have to contend with Flint is obviously close to going off. This one is a bloody battle, so I'm not allowed any kind of healing. So there's no point in being concerned about healing people. I have a horrible feeling. Now here I'm in one of those catch-22 positions, whereby blowing the purple gem will probably kill. Oh no, it's okay. They've been debuffed. I was about to say Flint's debuff was going to hit me. I'm just going to blow the purple gem. So the reds will do boom, 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 ton of damage. There we are. An absolute ton of damage. And I suspect if I do this, this will be enough to win me the raid. Hooray! So yeah, the power of the debuffer there, Talia, came into effect. Because what I was about to say was that Flint's counterattack was going to lead to me losing, even though I was in a stronger position. Whereas actually, my debuff from Talia, there is Talia tucked away in the end there, Talia actually meant that I still won. So, yeah, not only did I win, I actually won fairly convincingly. I would argue that. This person, Jammer, has gone for a Talia tank. Maybe I should have done that. I don't know. In hindsight, I mean, I went with Blunderbuss tank, and I'm seriously regretting that, seeing how poorly my defense team is performing. But never mind. Let's not dwell on my failures. My ex-wife likes to do that. Let's not indulge her. Okay, that's all right. That's not too bad. Right. Okay. So obviously, I want to stop Astrid if I can. There we are. So targeting always wants to be focused on which hero is the next one to pose you the biggest threat. And there we go. Which just leaves, I'm not sure what's your name, Ox, not a hero I know particularly well, as you can probably just gather by the fact that I didn't even know his name. Oh, there we are. I'm not even sure what killed Oxen, but never mind. Let's not dwell on that. There we are. So attack-wise, that was 5 out of 5. That was completely successful. Sadly, my defense team is letting me down, and which. Sadly, I mean, being as my last video was, choosing a good defence team, is a complete failure. That said, I mean, I guess, I mean, Blunderbuss is my most leveled up red in terms of talent emblems and such. So maybe there was an element of logic to it. Maybe. I'm going to ask people to forgive me. Anyway, I mean, I would say that said, I would say the key thing is that red is the obvious colour for a tank in this tournament. Obviously, I chose. Well, it appears that I chose the wrong one. So let's just. Oh, hang on. No, come out. Random raid like this. The heroes. I would suspect that I chose the wrong one completely. Let's just have a look at the leaderboard. Oh, okay, they're going with Ico. Ico, that was the name. I couldn't even think of it. Yeah, Astrid. I did think Astrid would have been a good tank, although my Astrid isn't really leveled. Holden, okay. So there's a sort of fairly multicoloured list at the top. Red, yeah, a Calamity. Yeah, Rana. I did run Rana. I've avoided Rana because of her healing, but you're seeing actually the raid tournament. I mean, this guy's gone with Blunderbuss, and he's fifth. So he's obviously done very well for himself. Although in fairness, he's got a lot of emblems on his heroes. Blunderbuss again. So maybe Blunderbuss wasn't. Yeah, there we are. 3 in the top 10 have got Blunderbuss. This guy's got Blunderbuss, albeit that they've got a Foxtrot in the middle. Okay, so maybe I wasn't so rash in saying Blunderbuss is the hero to go for. Possibly it just comes down to how many emblems you have attached to everyone, and obviously I don't have many emblems attached to my 4 stars. They're either attached to the 3 stars I use in raids, in events, or the 5 stars I use the rest of the time. But yeah, okay, yeah. So I mean, emblems do seem to be particularly important. Shoban and so on. Some very strong players there who are proving, well, not exactly proving my point, but at least demonstrating the importance of emblems attached to your heroes. Anyway, well, okay, so I have obviously totally failed in my last video advising who to choose for your raid team. But I would like to say that there is an element of not having failed, because there were other players who went with Blunderbuss. They just had far more emblems on their heroes than me. And certainly the opposite colour rule does apply. So, you're not allowed blue heroes, so red heroes make the best tanks. I do think that there is hopefully something still to be said for that. So I do apologise, as I say for my last video. The advice was well meant. I hope that there were elements of it that worked for different players, but obviously it hasn't worked for me here, and I just have to put my hands up and say, dang. But maybe next time. Anyway, so please do remember to like, share, comment and subscribe. As you'll probably gather if you've watched any of my videos, there is a certain element of randomness and just kind of making it up as I go along. That's just how I am. I'm sorry, I'm not a particularly, a particularly pre-planned, dedicated YouTuber. I have many aspects, many aspects of life which are grinding my will to live down to the bare knuckles at the minute, and as such, my videos are kept fairly sort of brief and so on and so forth. Anyway, so as I say, please do remember to like, share, comment and subscribe, and it just remains for me to say, may death come swiftly to your enemies. Take care of yourselves. Hoivar, good night. Nostar, Fun Ben wishing everybody all the best. Goodbye.